And the puzzle remains. All five are so different from each other, yet they all insist they're middle class. I decided to raise the problem with my other colleagues, Kimwell and Owen Manda, to see if they have any ideas that might clarify things.
So Mo, how's the research going?
I've been interviewing these 5 respondents, and all of them have different occupations. All of them have different lifestyles, different history, background, and I'm battling with these people and their lifestyles and various other things that they involve in, and they all call themselves middle class, and I'm grappling with that.
When I was looking through some of the footage with you, I'm being struck by the politics of a middle class identity in relation to perhaps an early identity that's been documented in the literature that was more focused on working class identity. And if you contrast these two together, there's a shift in politics. So where working class identity is concerned with broader power structures and challenging these, this identity of the middle appears to be quite individualized.
Yeah.
So what did you think about the footage we just saw about the respondents and how they articulate their middle class identity?
Yeah, for me it just actually complicates the whole definition of middle class. That what we're seeing with people is that there's a very universal common theme of what middle class is. That it's about affordability, and it's about being, you're not the richest person in the world, but you're not the poorest. But when you look at what that means to people, what affordability means, it seems like a huge, the range of what is affordable or goods that you have to be middle class or whatever, there's no consistency in it. It's like for Andronica, it's about not sleeping hungry. For Hilda, it's about having 3 businesses.
Yeah, it's like Charles as well.
Yeah,
the guy who fixes fridges.
Yeah.
He thinks that as long as he's not begging, go outside and beg food. As long as he's able to put food on his table, then it's fine. And he sees himself based on that.
That's really interesting, because it links this idea of affordability with something else. So affordability is about the materiality, what you have. But then when you look at the way that people are presenting themselves, when they talk about what they can afford, there's also the sense that saying what you can afford gives you a sense of independence and respectability.
But now I can link it with the issue of language, which says that most people in Soweto, for example, in Zulu, people use the word Phakati to explain their position. Usually they say Phakati nendawo,
What is ndawo?
It means space, now.
So the middle space.
Yeah, the middle space, So, and in Sesotho they say Kikoma Kharing, and Koma Kharing also means in the middle, And I think this is how these people, they see themselves in the middle, within that strata, that they find themselves. For example, if you look at Andronica, she's in the informal settlement, but because she's able to eat, and then she sees herself in the middle. The fact that these people are seen not beggars, they can't go and beg for food, they are able to make a plan, and buy food, then it gives them that sense that they are also respected within that community.
But I think if we go back to what was being said in literal terms, in the middle within this space, rather than add all these various things on, then I think it takes us a long way forward. And I find it fascinating because it links very much to something I've been thinking about here, which is that people are really using a reference group, which varies. It varies depending upon their class position. So that if you come from a wealthy class background, the people that you're comparing yourself to are very different from the people you're comparing yourself to if you're poor. Hilda, she's thinking about a world that includes all these people she meets when she travels and the richest people in Soweto. Whereas Andronica, by contrast, is thinking about this shack settlement that she's living in. So the meaning of middle is very different for Hilda than it is for Andronica.
I mean, what does Andronica think of Hilda calling herself middle class? Like, what do they think of each other?
I actually had this idea about if it's possible to actually let Hilda and Andronica meet and see how they articulate the middle class when they meet together and have this encounter, whether they will see the middle class as the same or different, and how would they react to each other since they're both middle class.
I think it's a terrific idea. I think you should go for it.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Nice one.